from the Adventure Travel Trade Association will take us through some of their thoughts on where we fit and where the adventure travel sector is going in this post-COVID period. Gergana, it's yours.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And hello, everyone. I'll be turning my slides now. I am here in the Bulgarian mountains. I'm on my vacation. The internet is down, so I get to enjoy the nature and the mountain. I don't see mountain bikers, but hopefully they are there. I am part of the Adventure Travel Trade Association. Some of you might know it. I won't go into deep details who we are. I will be sharing the slides and you can look at them. So just a quick context, we are a mission-driven organization and we are representing the adventure travel community around the world. Our constituency is over 1,300 member organizations in 100 countries. To be on the same page, we mentioned a little bit earlier about the adventure travelers, but a brief description of what is adventure travel. Whereas in the past, adventure travel was understood to be a risky undertaking, these days travelers say their motivations for adventure travel are an expanded worldview, challenge, time in nature, learning, and so on. They're seeking mental and physical wellness, novel and unique experiences, and challenge, whether physical, cultural, and oftentimes transformational. And who is the adventure traveler? He or she, and this is pre-COVID. So he or she are a well-educated person with passion for travel and exploration, and about over 50% have disposable income, which often is invested in traveling. As any other traveler, the adventure traveler has changed due to the current crisis. So now during the next slides, we'll go a little bit more deeper into what has changed. Sorry. For the insights, we worked with the behavioral expert in travel, Gergana Nikolova, our own adventure travel community, and we used also ATTA's expertise. So how has changed the behavior? I will mention 3 elements, and then we'll go to the next pieces of my presentation. A major outcome of the current social distancing phenomena will be the desire to reconnect with close ones and compensate for the lost time. The desire to socialize with your close ones will be in conflict with the remaining fear from crowds. We expect that this will lead to a demand for experiences that are in small groups, allowing for interaction with close ones, rather than travels with large groups that involve contact with many different people. In that context, we think that the isolation and the anxiety from the current crisis will give rise to the demand for stress-relieving and rejuvenating experiences in nature. We feel and hope that this crisis will fuel new demand for the powerful and wellness benefits that nature offers, especially such that are shared with the close ones. So in that context, also as mentioned earlier, we expect that adventure travel will be on the rise in the coming years. So here are 3 possible effects that will likely be triggered from the desire to socialize, but preference to avoid crowds. First, there will be a growing demand for small group journeys and experiences that are shared with family members and friends. We expect that the fear from crowds will remain and will likely impact formats that involve interaction with larger groups. Second, as a result of the current dynamics, travelers will expect destinations and operators to take effective measures that avoid crowding, regardless of what that might cost. And third, we expect that there will be growing demand for off-the-beaten-path experiences that allow for socializing with close ones, but do not involve crowds. The second characteristic is focused on the value. Previous crises that have involved economic downturn have increased the demand for value in the market exchanges. So we suspect that this will be very distinct in our industry as well when it recovers. The pursuit for value is not the same as pursuit for low price. On the contrary, if the traveler or their families are not impacted by unemployment, they will still pursue higher end experiences and will be ready to pay an above average price tag. They will simply demand that the value they receive for the price they are paying is significant and obvious. This means that destinations and service providers need to ensure that their value proposition is clearly spelled out in all its dimensions. The traveler needs to feel that the benefits they are extracting from a travel experience, such as emotion, rejuvenation, status, and luxury, are cumulatively more valuable than the monetary price that they pay. So, strong focus on value is likely to produce two effects. The first is that travelers will be looking for information and descriptions that reveal the value potential of any experience. How well values are communicated and the extent of which it is relevant to the traveler will determine how favorable the price tag is perceived. And second, this lower time is a fantastic time to ensure that the value of destination or company level offering is clearly communicated. Moving to the third likely characteristic of the post-COVID-19 traveler, what we expect is that attitude towards hygiene will be radically different after the crisis and will be perceived as non-negotiable. So anything from a food store like the one we see here to a museum and accommodation facility will be assessed through the prism of cleanliness. We have already seen airlines emphasizing on hygiene procedures in their communication at the start of the current crisis. The expectation is that most operators along the entire value chain will have to maintain different levels of cleanliness and, very important, demonstrate that. So what does that mean for the traveler behavior? First, as we are already seeing, the expectation of our clients will be that hygiene will be non-negotiable element of the service, the facility design, and the experience itself. Travelers will expect that operators are committed to new standards and that they will communicate about the actions they are taking in this direction. Second, we think that the new hygiene and protection culture will fuel popularity of new travel accessories, which can easily become souvenirs branded with destination brands or service provider logos. These can be protective masks, gloves, glasses, and others. And also this gives us some space for creativity too. And third, we already see, and also Teodoro mentioned about the formalized guidelines and standards, including in hygiene and certification around this. So we spoke a little bit about the changing behavior. So let's take a look at what's going to come next and how the new normal, as mentioned before, that it is a new normal from here on, will change also the new realities. While COVID-19 has a dramatic impact on the revenues of tourism businesses, it also offers a unique opportunity to take the local experiential offering to the next level and be ready for the future as an alternative destination to the traditional global tourism hotspots. So while all of us are tempted to go back and operate as soon as possible and the same way as before, too many things will be different. So our new normal will require finding the balance between what worked before and the changes that are currently occurring. One of the tests for businesses, including in tourism and adventure tourism, will be the ability to sense the changes and adapt operations accordingly. So this means that now, when there is no or very slow business, we need to use the time for product adjustment and new product development. As indicated, the post-COVID-19 traveler will expect adjusted experience design to align with the new realities. So, for example, the fear from crowds will require that operators redesign their offerings to prevent the gathering of large groups of people at basically any cost. The COVID-19 crisis will not only change the behavior of the destination's traditional markets, but will require also attracting new market segments. So responding to the needs of new travelers will require adjustment of the existing product portfolios as well. And while we speak about product adjustment and adaptation, it is important to highlight that COVID-19 crisis did not eliminate all sustainability challenges that were challenging the growth of tourism. Recovery should be shaped with sustainability as non-negotiable principle that will ensure balanced growth, profitability, and preservation. And I'm very happy to hear earlier Teodora speaking about this on policy level and on European level. In addition to being the right thing, sustainability, it is expected by the traveler, and more specifically in today's context, the adventure traveler. Sustainability can be non-negotiable only if it is incorporated in the design of all offerings as basically non-negotiable principle for the destination. Destinations and local operators have the opportunity to set the rules and change the principles in ways that make sure that they can continue enjoying the benefits of tourism without sacrifices. And before I wrap up for today, we mentioned earlier the need for protocols, and we see already industry leaders and destinations working on these. So I'm using the opportunity to let you know that on June 23rd, ATTA will be releasing the health and safety guidelines for 3 adventure activities: trekking, biking, and rafting, and also one overarching guideline for the industry. As part of the guidelines will be also included a practical assessment to allow you to understand how to best address your business needs. More additional activities will be released also in July this year. And with this, I would like to thank you very much for the opportunity to be here with you and look forward to your questions at the end of the presentation.